Pippa, I mean, this is great. Like, I really want to be on Transatlantic and to have you as a guest. You are a very famous name in the world of advertising. You have been advertising for such a long time, and you are at the helm of one of the best schools in advertising, Miami Art School. So welcome to Transatlantic.
Thank you. It's a very cool project you're doing.
Thank you so much.
I've watched a bunch of the shows and I got inspired.
Oh, thank you. So look, we always say at Transatlantic, like we like to cross people's ocean. We believe that each of us is an ocean of erratic thoughts and wild feelings, and I'm sure that your ocean is beautiful. So we're gonna cross it, and I'm very happy and excited about, and we're gonna ask you like 7 questions like the 7 C's. So let's start with the first one. Are you ready?
Ready.
Good, okay. Sailing through the night in the middle of the ocean can bring like darkness, stillness. Is a hell of an experience. You had to constantly draw in your mind the direction. You need to know where you're going. It's like drawing the path of your life before you leave your life. Now you sit at the helm of one of the biggest advertising school in the United States globally, Miami Art School. And you have been raising generations and generations of creative for 27 years. Was this the journey that you imagined for yourself when you were a little kid?
At first, no. I thought I was going to be a rabbit trainer.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
You talked about the silliness and crazy ideas. That's what I thought my future would be, my second grade self. I had this amazing rabbit that I had trained, and she and I just had this amazing bond. She was house trained and everything. So that's what I thought my calling was. But when I realized there was literally no jobs in that area, I remember in 7th grade, I was asked to write an essay, and my mother found it the other day, and she called me and read it to me, and it said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I said, "I don't know what it's called, but I want a job where I can be creative and also help people." So I think that pretty early on, I had the finger of my own pulse and kind of had a vision of what I wanted to do. Didn't know what it was, but I knew the direction to go.
What a beautiful answer from a rabbit trainer to the boss of like Miami Art School. That's really a crazy journey. Oh my God.
Rabbit training is a little embarrassing, but
that's a great start, man. That's a great start. Second question. You have 14 schools, if I'm correct, around the world, but you picked Miami as your headquarters. It's in the name, Miami Art School. And it's a fascinating move to me because I don't know if you know it, but Miami is not like any other city in the US. It holds a record. It's actually the very first and only city in the US that was founded by a woman. I don't know if you knew this. And also there is another fun fact about Miami. The Florida current is one of a kind. It results from the movements of the water push to the Atlantic into the Caribbean Sea. So even when you look at Miami from underwater, it's a mix of cultures, strong currents. Now bring me back to 1993 when you first set up the very first school in Miami. What was it like?
My husband and I wanted to create the school we wish we had gone to. So we actually considered a lot of cities. But when we went to Miami, it was this amazing, Miami Beach specifically, this amazing mixture of cultures and ideas and sexualities and colors. The buildings were pink and yellow and blue, and it was all Art Deco, and Pavarotti was singing on the beach. And I remember having dinner there the first night, and there were 7 tables in that were people were sitting and eating, and every table spoke a different language. You know, there was Italian and French and Spanish and Hebrew and Portuguese, and it was just really remarkable. And then walk down the street and there's a girl in rollerblades and a string bikini standing next to a rabbi in full attire. And through one window, there were all of these elderly people in traditional garb doing kind of like Northern European traditional dancing. And we thought, this has to be the place where we go. The first week I went, we were walking by the beach and there were back then it was the Center for Fashion Photography.
Right.
And there were 7 shoots going along Ocean Drive, which is the main drive in the city. And they were all like major fashion photo shoots. And the last one, the woman was totally naked, middle of the day, standing in front of this hot pink wall, and there's the photographer, and then there are like 10 other guys behind the photographer also taking pictures. So it was just another world.
Funny how life works, because in 1993 I started like university in Rome. It was right at the time that I was working actually a little bit with Gianni Versace. And, you know, and you mentioned like Ocean Drive and all that, like the 90s were like a flourish period in Miami, and it was beautiful from like a fashion standpoint view and photography. So thank you so much for the answer. It's awesome.
Yeah, another reason we started there is that we knew we wanted to continue and expand that cross-pollination of ideas and cultures. And we knew that we could invite anybody we wanted to probably in the world that inspired us and say, would you like to come to Miami Beach? And so we always had all sorts of minds there.
Okay, you say no. Okay, let's go for the third question. The Atlantic Ocean accounts for 23.5% of the Earth's oceans. Now let's talk in water terms. It has 82 billion gallons of water. It's actually billion. Now, follow me through this analogy. You set up a school to infuse creativity into the ad business. You have thousands of creatives that surround you. So creativity surrounds you like ocean, right? Creativity is your water. Do you ever feel the need to escape to the mountain? Meaning like to change the scenario completely and say, I'm done, I want to take a break. Just let me do something completely different.
Well, I happen to be in the mountains right now.
Okay.
But I didn't escape here, except from the pandemic. Did not escape here. I love this ocean of creativity that I have the privilege of living in. And in fact, I guess if I used your ocean and water metaphor, it would be that I'm a sponge. I get to be this sponge and then just soak up all of these ideas and influences and perspectives and colors that all of these people come up with. They're
awesome.
It's them that have made the school so terrific, because it incorporates all their perspectives.
It must be amazing. It must be amazing. Here's gonna be the fourth question is gonna be a little bit hard because we are living through like a very hard moments in life. But anyway, in May 1607, the Susan Constance and 2 other ships made the dangerous voyage of 3,000 miles to go and trying to find spices and gold. But guess what? All they could find was timber, just timber. So they came back completely empty and full with timber. Now, this metaphor applied to a young kid that started in advertising. And as a mentor for like Miami School and like for other like university where we teach advertising, I can see that they start into the business